republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Yeah, so he's got a nice sketch here. He's got some
How'd you know?
dimensions. Well, that's right there is the lift station.
The guy on MASH.
But I had a chance to study that.
Well, I have to.
I'm sure. it's
Okay,
gonna
we
sell
have,
well.
everyone is currently present other than Dalton, so we do have a quorum. And has everybody had a chance to look over the minutes? All right, this was working earlier. From last month,
Yes.
Yes.
I don't have them up here on the screen. Okay.
All good, yes.
So, anyone have any discussion or any comments on the meetings, minutes from last meeting?
No,
Do I have a
sir.
motion to adopt?
I make a motion to adopt the meeting minutes.
We have a motion, we have a second?
I'll second it.
Any discussion? Which I already asked that. All those in favor of adopting last month's minutes, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? All right. Does the public out there have any comment? We're coming to your stuff. That's the only thing we have tonight. All right. New business.
Yes, not.
If there was a schedule.
Hey.
All right, bro. You all right?
Weapon, he's got it. My hatchet.
People in the video are like, what are they doing?
Scheduling, is that what we were looking at?
Yes, the schedule for next year, just so I know it'll be here. Filing calendar for next year. Oksana gave us one for this year, and then Marcellus has done this year. If you notice, what's on there are filing deadlines to have stuff taken care of at our meeting, because we have TAC meetings that have to be taken care of if it's needed. If you notice at the top it says as needed. Public notice deadline would have to be 15 days before our meeting. So if somebody had something, we'd have to advertise 15 days prior that we would have a public
Hearing.
Public forum. I can never remember. And then of course ours, and then he has listed the town council meetings.
Yeah, so the town council meetings are listed for the meetings in the month following the plan commission meeting for cases like a rezoning where plan commission offers a recommendation and town council has final decision.
Normally, I go to their second meeting of the month and give them stuff. So. Even though they asked at the first meeting of the month, APC, you have anything? No, that's not the month. We do stuff.
We haven't met yet.
Yeah. We don't have the paper.
So,
Sorry.
that's just, it's there for you. It was in his email. So, if you want to take a look at that, I mean, we meet the second Monday of every month. And I don't think there were any holiday conflicts either.
Yep, not with you guys.
Not with us.
Not with us.
Then it's, okay, there's this. Okay. Now I need to go back to, oops, not that one. we now come to.
Actually, before you move on, you need to actually have a vote to adopt the calendar.
Oh, okay, yes. Planning Commission to vote. Did you guys want to take a closer look at the calendar?
Well, it's the second Monday, right?
Yeah, it's always the second Monday. And then like last month, we had an emergency meeting to kind of help out because we didn't have a quorum. And, yeah, these guys are coming from Indianapolis and who else from where. And I hate for them to keep making trips and then have to wait. They come up here, nothing happens, they have to wait another month. So appreciate everybody coming in that second meeting that week. I mean, I looked at it, we lasted 12 minutes, but we've got business taken care of.
Mm-hmm.
So that was good and good for them, and it provides good relations. Okay, so everybody's had a chance to look at that. So can I have a motion to adopt proposed 2026 calendar of public meeting dates and filing deadlines?
I'll make a motion to adopt the 2026 calendar of public meeting dates and filing deadlines.
Do you have a second?
I'll second it.
Any discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstains. Okay.
This is the Gregorian calendar,
No, the Klingon calendar,
the Hebrew calendar.
the start date calendar. Okay, item 2, public hearing, application for rezoning 01-2025, the self-storage facility. Public hearing concerning an application to rezone the property at 416 North Pearl Street from residential to business to allow the development of a self-storage facility. Again, it's located at 416 North Pearl Street. The petitioners are with us tonight, Tim and Shauna Williams. And so are the property owners, Tim and Shauna Williams.
I'll let you two just kind of give a brief overview of kind of what you're proposing, and then I'll go into my staff report.
What we're proposing is like the property is kind of a L-shaped, and we are proposing for that, just that top of the back goes down, but I mean, we're proposing the whole property, but the top is where the storage, self-storage units will be. We'll be using the Connex. And what we want to do is go like around the outside of the property to be kind of like a fence so that it kind of closes it off, and then to go down the middle, like 3 lanes down the middle with the units. We're going to leave part of that corner that the town owns straight across. We're just going to leave as a drive, and then just kind of put some landscaping in there to make it look, maybe some bushes and flowers or whatever to kind of help, make it look nice and keep it all basically. And then around down the hill, we were like going to possibly do like outside storage. Somebody needs to store
Around the,
down the hill shape.
the panhandle.
Yes, yeah. It's considered outdoor storage.
What do you perceive that the outdoor storage is likely to be?
Mostly my stuff.
Trailers,
If you ever seen like some of the stories will have like people's RVs, they don't leave them on the property.
RV, boats.
Boats, pontoons, trailers.
So that's an.
So it's not anything that's to be dripping oil and diesel fuel and.
No. Shouldn't be.
And it is open. Side. There's no
Yes,
roof
it is
or-
now.
yeah.
And
It is
we
open.
cleaned it up. There was like, I don't know if you guys seen it when we bought it, but there were like, I don't know how many junk cars already down there. Yeah, there was all kinds of trash and junk cars already back there. We've already cleaned all of that out. There's like nothing there now.
Couple loads of dump trailer trash.
Yeah, so it'll be much better than that.
Well, I do know where it says graveyard there at the top, that the graveyard belongs to the township,
Mhm.
not the town. And Lynn had advertised for someone to clean that up. It said,
Yeah,
you will need a skid loader.
Yeah.
And they took a bunch of trees and limbs and stuff out of their debris. And I think there are some tombstones in there.
There is.
Yeah, but they were so covered with the fallen trees and stuff. But yeah, they got that.
There's still a lot that needs to come down along that.
Yeah,
There.
come down, because I know
They're dead.
on your thing, you said something about bringing down a dead tree that was,
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's one lean on the backside that's kind of really lean and
Yeah.
bad, so we thought that
So they're
one needs to
maintaining,
come down since
maintaining
it's
all the
lean.
trees.
Yeah, but
Except there's this one
We're
that's
gonna try to
really
leave as
good.
much as we can and
But-
just possibly trim up.
it kinda made 50-50 on me to the graveyard. So,
Yeah, some of the trees are on them and some are, they're kind of like halves and halves, but.
if you
if we get with
contacted
them, Yeah,
Lynn, she'd probably say, hey, have at it.
right.
She might even pay you. She'd
I've already
money.
trimmed some of them
Yeah.
on my side, which I
Yeah,
can,
but,
but there's
I
a
mean,
few of them that need to come
If they're wanting to
down.
clean it, because they paid whoever, if they've actually cleaned it up in the back, they paid them. I don't know if they will or not, but that's always an
They
option.
did a lot of work, like last year was,
Yeah.
and they cleaned a lot up
And then
over there
Or-
on their side.
they got some fence that needs
Well, there is no fence
repair,
trail.
yeah. But,
Are there any utilities
Uh,
above ground or below ground or?
I don't think,
I did not get locates on it. I don't think there is any utilities other than the cities right there. There has been water, there is a water meter on it. And there's a sewer tap, but nobody knows where it is because too many years. Because it used to have a trailer set in there.
Okay, I thought I remember.
Daryl Prince, or one of the Prince boys, one of them.
So there used to be something sitting there, and then when they cleaned it up, everybody go, oh yeah, it looks so nice, but not just been sitting empty.
Mhm.
And all the electric's on the street, isn't it?
Yeah,
Mhm.
all your electric power's out front, I know that. I'm pretty sure all your utilities are out front too, so. Yeah. I don't think there's anything that crosses that property. There was not supposed to be any encroachments according to the title company.
Is there any way to locate that sewer tap?
The sewer tap, are you guys digging it all?
No.
Well, we'll be digging some to the beginning,
just a
but
level,
taking it all out and level and take the sod off and level it.
The only way to locate it would be from the sewer lateral. If we can't find it, then we can't locate it from the actual main,
Would it be a metal,
probably
like
cast,
coming up?
cast iron.
Metal.
Maybe.
You got a metal detector?
Yeah, I do, but I won't go that deep.
Well, it may not be very deep.
It should be.
Well, no, the vertical one.
Oh.
They might have just cut it off right at the top of the ground.
Yeah, who knows? But you could always run a camper down the main and find it, I think, so. Yeah. You know, in the future, we probably will end up with some kind of utility. We'll definitely have power. And
Yeah, because I know
maybe
you
in the
were
future-
talked about possibly doing a office.
Yeah. Maybe in the future, put an office on it.
Like I said, I don't know if you guys heard him, but the town property little square is a lift station.
You guys staked that off, didn't you?
Yeah. Yeah,
I thought.
we're gonna have to set back a little farther because they, put that box right on the line. But we'll set back so you can open it and get into it.
yeah,
If they would've spun it around, it'd have been nice too, but they put it back that way and where you.
yeah. That's why we went back as far as we did on the front to
Yeah.
keep, you got to keep that, so it was that, you had access. So it's
Yeah,
in
access and keep it straight, make it
How
look
many
nice
feet away
right
from
there.
that do they have to be?
But yeah, I'm like, man, yeah, they got
From
that all
the
close.
station. I am not sure.
Okay, and it's, it says to the west is residential, but that's across the street.
Yes.
And then north is residential. There's another map with, you remember the
Yeah.
guy's name? It's on here somewhere.
There's a Stephen Cruz property,
Yeah.
a Bruce Beach property that's across the street. Is that correct?
Across the street.
And a Brent Warmouth property?
That's on that.
That's on
This
down.
way.
Oh, it's the
Yeah.
other side.
Yeah, the other side. Well, you had the guy's property name listed on one of your drawings here.
Yeah, it's I have it up on the screen.
Well,
now.
Dan Moran owns the houses across the street,
Yeah.
both of them. It says Lynette Deckerson, but Dan owns them. That trailer and the modular.
Gene Bayless.
Yeah, he's down,
No, he's down farther. It's
yeah.
Stephen Cruz. Stephen Cruz.
Yeah. Yeah, is that the guy that owns the blue house?
It'd be the house right next to you. Well, that's who owns the property.
I've been calling him Nick.
That guy lives there, Nick Shirey.
That's what I thought.
Right there.
Yeah.
That module.
Yeah, it's two piece.
So what's the property name under?
It says Stephen Cruz.
I think that was the person before that too. I don't think that's updated either.
Yeah, this says Nicholas Sherry.
You're calling him right.
Okay. Hey, he's been answering that like I've been unhappy about it.
All right. Can provide
Okay.
a quick rundown of staff report.
Yeah.
So, as mentioned, the property is currently zoned residential, and like most of Thorntown, and is surrounded by other residentially zoned properties. Though, when you look at the actual uses on the property, to the south and east is the cemetery, rather than housing. So you have housing to the north and across the street, and then the cemetery to the east and the west and the south. These uses are generally seen as being compatible with self-storage, so long as they are sufficiently insulated. This just because self-storage is, especially if it's outdoor self-storage, is a kind of use that it has, bright lights and cameras, and depending on the look of the storage units themselves, nearby residents might want their property screened from the storage units, that they don't, look out their window and see a bunch of storage units, or like you don't have bright light shining in their face at night. So with a few modifications or a few conditions, that's a perfectly compatible use. Staff examined then the consistency with Thorntown's comprehensive plan, and staff's finding is that there is a goal in the comprehensive plan around promoting appropriate infill and redevelopment, especially of underutilized property. And this proposal is consistent with that goal. It's consistent with the comprehensive plan in that sense. It's also consistent with the community's vision, which is to retain Thorntown's peaceful pastoral character, revitalize the town's historic commercial and residential core, enhance its cultural and recreational facilities and events, all the while planning, preparing, and working toward the goal of making the community more economically stable and self-sufficient by attracting and retaining families, both young and old, and businesses, whether retail, professional services, industrial, or agriculturally related, and enhancing opportunities for tourism-related ventures. This proposal in providing self-storage, which is not a commercial service that is currently available in Thorntown, certainly aligned with this goal of attracting new businesses to the community and making it more self-sufficient. Residents will be able to store their stuff more locally rather than having to travel long distances.
Locally, I think we do have 2 storage facilities here in town, but they're both full. I mean, there's nothing available.
So staff finds this to be consistent with community vision. The next section is plan review. Currently, Thorntown's Code of Ordinances does not contain any development standards for the business zoning district. So usually in a plan review situation like this, staff would be looking at whether or not the plan meets the standards, but since there are no standards, instead what we've done is thinking about sort of planning best practices, the kinds of standards we see commonly in other communities, and seeing how these plans sort of match with that. The main concerns here from staff in terms of the plan review are, so they're proposing 4-foot setbacks on all sides. On the cemetery sides of the property, 4 feet is not too much of a concern from staff's perspective. The only worry there is if there are trees in that setback yard, 4 feet might not be enough space for their roots. And so that could be, that would just be something that needs to be looked at. But on the sides that border the residential uses, staff thinks that 4 feet is 4 feet's too narrow, and that there should be space on the property to provide a buffer, as I sort of talked about at the beginning. Some kind of either fence or wall or plant landscape screening or a berm or something that will just sort of block or screen that view so it's not right in the resident's face. Yeah.
How tall are your units?
They'll be 8 foot,
8 foot.
I think. I think they're all 90. The high cubes are 96, I think. So it'll be- that's what we were leaving as thinking of the buffer is like a fence. What's the difference between
The back of
the back of the unit?
would be like.
Like a
Yeah.
privacy fence?
Are you going to be setting, there was a picture here, a sample that you had, and then looking at the picture, the sample's clear at the bottom, I think. Oh, there they are. Okay, and you have to turn sideways.
Let's see if I can rotate this.
Good use of space.
There
There
you
you
go.
go.
Yeah, there's no plans to stack them later, is there?
No, I don't think so.
It's been done.
I know.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've seen some facilities, they stack them and put mezzanines around them.
Mhm.
Eli Love.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there.
Exactly.
No, we're not planning to stack.
So
And then
are
the backs would be solid.
you plan on putting it any time? Well, you said that the back of them would serve as a fence, which I don't disagree with that.
The concern is that the thing that is meant to be screened is the units themselves,
You're right.
not the lot, but the units. Like the neighbors might not want to see a storage unit sitting outside. And that would be the purpose of the screening.
Remember, we're in a residential neighborhood, not in a business district.
Right.
Could we set a condition where they'd have to put some kind of plants or
Mhm.
trees or landscaping? I know the offset would probably have to be more than 4 foot, like what you were saying.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
so the neighbors wouldn't have to look at the wall, they could look at trees or something.
Yeah, we
And
can.
there are some trees already.
Right.
There is a row
We're
of
not
trees.
gonna take those out.
Actually, them trees that he trimmed are really on us,
Yeah,
which I told him he could trim. But
yeah. There's a row of trees there and then his garage is there. So the house is screened some, but I mean, we have no problem putting more. I mean, we're bushes or whatever.
So this isn't a secure area with a security fence around it. It'd just be the storage business, like they are in town
Yeah.
already.
Yeah,
There's no fence around them.
no.
yeah, no. I think putting a fence, then putting the storage containers on the outside wouldn't look, it's just, I don't think that'd make it look good anyway, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
I think landscaping would look better along Nick's side. But I don't really need a lot of there, He's got a garage setting 4 or 5 foot off property line.
Hopefully it's 5.
Probably.
That's code.
Okay, we'll call it 5.
But, yeah.
That's the one you put it into.
Yeah, just a few years ago.
Um,
What's like fence setbacks? If you put a fence up.
Well, you could have a memorandum of understanding where you could actually put the fence on the property line.
Right.
Only if the adjoining property agrees.
Yeah, that's
We really, yeah.
Mhm.
It has to be 3 foot off the property line, the way it's written now.
There's
Mhm.
trees there
Yeah.
that we don't wanna have to take down, so we couldn't.
Yeah, we wouldn't want to do that.
Have you talked to Nick?
Oh, yeah. I thought that.
it rotated everything. I
Um,
hope it was just rotating
now,
that
I
one
think
page.
there was something in,
So there were a few more things I wanted to note here on the plan review.
I got something too.
I'm not I'm not a self-storage expert, so I did a little searching and talked to some other planners. And what I kind of got out of that is that the kind of common minimum aisle widths that I kept seeing were 25 feet wide for what they call parallel aisles, which would be these ones that go up and down the middle, and then 30 feet wide for cross aisles. Now, I imagine that and the cross aisles would be the ones at the top and the bottom. Now, I imagine those widths are designed to accommodate like a, regular size U-Haul type truck.
Mhm.
Right, size box truck.
Yeah, and so
Box trailer.
certainly people who are moving stuff in and out of storage might be using those kind of trucks, and so it'd be best if the storage facility had the drive aisles to accommodate that. So that was
What we put on there, like 24 feet?
24
Yeah,
and 26. So you're pretty close.
Well, I mean, the reason we went that's for the county roads, 16 to 18 foot wide.
Mm.
I went and measured several.
The 24, 2 box trucks would fit in there.
Oh, yeah. You're
I mean,
only 800
Like I said,
feet
I'm
wide.
not an expert on this. I'm just going with what. And so, if you think 24 is probably fine, then it is only just one more foot.
Yeah.
Right.
Now, this is a-
Well, I'm just thinking that having enough space to get them in there, that's the.
Oh, I didn't mean it. I meant that
Yeah.
the difference between 24 and 25 is only 1 foot. So whether it's
Yeah.
24 or 25, I'm not sure how much of that, how much
I
that
thought we
matters.
had quite a bit, and I'm like, what is it?
Yeah. And then the last main concern from staff was the proposed ground cover. They're proposing gravel for the entire site. And, gravel is fine for the roads and for the driveways and all of that. But I really think that the storage units themselves should be set on concrete platforms. That just makes everything look more permanent, more settled.
It has to be permanently affixed to the ground unless it's a temporary structure. So
Right.
they can't set it on gravel. I mean, it's going to have to be put on a slab or a foundation or piers or something like that.
Yeah, I would say piers might be a better route.
But it's not. I mean, it's not. I don't think it's not an option to just pop them on site and it's done and level them. They have to be permanently affixed.
Most of them, they just compact gravel and put them down. And that's what we was planning to do is, number 2s and 53s compacted.
How would the
Another-
structure be attached to the ground?
Why does it really need to be fastened to the ground? It's not a
It'll be,
livable
because
structure.
it'll be considered a temporary structure if it's not.
If it's not, it's.
That's not a rule I make up. That's just the way that's, you know, that's just the rule, is if it's a temporary structure,
It
it's not
can't be a
attached.
temporary structure though.
Mm-mm.
Well, I guess if we could, I don't know,
I mean, typical things is you're gonna put on a concrete
anchor it
slab,
down, I guess.
Yeah, just like you would a.
but you'd have to
mobile
get,
home.
need to make sure that the anchor is, you gotta check to make sure the anchor is rated to hold it down.
I mean,
It'll require a little bit of engineering, I'm sure.
Well, if they'll hold a modular home down, it'll hold that down.
yeah. I mean, it's, legend has it we'll never have a tornado through here, but if we had tornado and they're not anchored, they could actually roll.
Mhm.
So will the house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
So with all that being said,
Of the lighting and cameras.
oh yes,
Yeah,
lighting and cameras. And so
That's what they're at.
And with the lighting, we propose to keep that like low, like maybe on the corners of the building so that it's not shining out.
Yeah.
the neighborhood.
on the buildings themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So those would require like cutoff fixtures with shields, not just a barn fixture. You have to get a specific type that throws the light straight down.
Yeah.
Which we, sometimes in a lot of the municipalities, they require a photometric drawing to say how is the light going to be thrown. But you know, you don't want a glare bomb out. You don't want a football field out there.
No, I don't really want a lot of lighting.
It's, I mean,
Yeah.
remember, this is a neighborhood. This is resident
Right.
neighborhood. It's not a business area. So we have to look at it from a neighbor's perspective.
I mean, I don't think it's gonna light up much more than the street lights do, because that property's pretty lit right now. If you go down there, it's not bad.
So we shouldn't need to add a lot.
No.
Yeah, so you want something for security.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or your cameras. I mean, make sure the cameras aren't, going over Nick's property and
Right,
Yeah.
right,
keeping an eye on the Amber,
These days.
going over to Moran's or
right.
maybe put one on the cemetery in case somebody comes up.
Signs might come out. Okay.
Yeah.
Really, you're not gonna be able to see anything but the inside of that thing,
Right.
probably with the cameras, because you're gonna be inside of the
yeah, inside of the
thing
loop.
solidly, so if any camera is just gonna see what would be inside of it.
Building or signage, like if you have entrance signs and things of that nature, that would be another area I would be concerned with, a spotlight shining on the sign that shoots into someone's house. Ground mounted lighting. If you're gonna
Yeah,
put a
I would
sign.
ground mount a
I
sign.
mean, I'm just saying, if you put a sign up and have ground mounted lighting,
Or
it's a
on
potential
top of
glare
it
bomb
shining-
for anyone
on
driving
top of
by.
it shining down.
Again, possibly as long as we don't get.
Right,
Lighting.
because if it's on
light
top
pollution.
shining down, it's not. There's
Yeah.
light pollution up in the air.
Yeah. Yeah, that,
And then the trailers, do they come painted? Are they all gonna be the same
they are
color?
painted, but I'll probably have to repaint them to make them all 100%.
'Cause
I'm gonna try to get them all the same color to begin with, but
I mean, if you pull up to
They
the
say I
site
can
and you
do
got
that.
red, black, orange, if it's a
Yeah.
pattern
Yeah.
that makes sense, I get it, but that would be incredibly, in my opinion, would look incredibly trashy.
Yeah.
No, we'll paint them all the same color. We won't leave
It
them.
looked
We
like,
like a tans and light green kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Something.
it looked like a railroad
Yeah, we don't want to.
yard
Railroad
with all the
tracks
different
on
Yeah.
boxcars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, man,
Hey.
some of them got some good graffiti on them.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was gonna say, maybe on the neighbor's side there, you could have a mural painted or something.
Well, we
Or
thought
even
about
on
that
the
too.
front. We thought about that on the
Well,
front. you know.
Avenue.
And Western Boone, our kids are always up for that.
That
Well,
that
that's
setback you were talking about, I feel like we need to go back to that.
Mhm.
Because that cuts how many feet if you require a 20-foot setback from them?
That would basically eliminate this
Oh,
row.
Railroad
The
You'd have
whole row
you'd
contains-
yeah.
Just the ones on the edge or?
It would just be on this side of the property.
Yeah.
So you would basically eliminate this aisle and move this outside edge to where you'd eliminate this aisle and move this edge to here. And then this would be
It would-
buffer.
Right.
Mhm.
So the big question is a buffer. We're in a residential neighborhood. Does someone want the backside of these C-trans as the fence that they're looking at? Or are they going to want a buffer? You know what? That's a tricky one.
I'd say me personally,
I mean, I can.
I mean, the tricky one is well, if it's done and you go look at it and it looks good, it's like, okay, that's fine. But if it looks horrible, so I mean, how do you gauge that in
Well,
a reasonable manner?
And personally, I would rather see the backs of the units rather than people there working in noise and that they may be causing getting stuff and then husband and wife get mad at each other and they start cussing.
I mean, in my mind, a
Yeah.
berm would be
Oh,
ideal.
yeah.
That would give you the separation,
Mhm.
complete separation. So you could have a business in the neighborhood and separation of adding a berm. The negative aspect, of course, is they're losing a whole line of storage.
Mhm.
And then, smaller property, they're going to have to relook at the revenue to make, if it makes sense at this point.
I think 10-foot would work and we could still do it, I believe. Or we'd only lose a half a row.
Yeah.
Of storage units. Because we looked at putting more on his side anyway, but we set back farther from the road than we was, because I didn't want to go out. Then you couldn't see around the containers to go down the road.
Mhm.
So we set back 40 feet, giving them plenty of space to see down the road.
I'm struggling on this setback.
So that 24 right there becomes 14, maybe?
Um,
Am I following this right?
We'd have to take
Right where
a
your cursor
row,
is.
like a row out.
yeah. So what this is already 4 feet, and then these units are what, eight wide.
8 feet,
8.
16 on them.
So you're looking at, so this is already is 12, and what the staff recommendation is a 20-foot buffer. So that would be another
8 feet
8 feet in.
Mhm.
Um,
and then make that.
and so you probably would eliminate, that would, if I were laying this out, you don't have enough space for an aisle here anymore.
Right.
So you would eliminate that
Unless
row,
you made that drive a one way,
unless it was a one-way.
then you can still have them there, but people would have to pull in, around, come one, whatever you decide, but they could only go one way.
The 20-foot.
It'd be like the,
Sorry.
Well, that would, and just shrink the aisleway
Yeah.
less.
just that, it's like the barns at Menards, you can only go
Right.
in one way.
Where does that 20-foot value come from? Is that based upon?
Because our
Previous
side
experience?
setback,
Yes, yeah. And I'll say that in the UDO that Debbie and I are working on, that's the setback that's in there for commercial.
okay, for commercial.
So real quick, what he's referring to is we're rewriting the ordinances for building construction.
Mhm.
And that's where the value is coming from. It hasn't been published yet. It's probably several
It's
months out.
been in the old ones, but I believe.
So just so you know where it's coming from.
Yeah,
So that value's in the new one?
right.
And that would be in in a business center?
That would be in a, so
Commercial.
that would be in a commercial setting there. And there's, I think right now we have, or what we would be proposing is there would be a couple of different commercial districts of differing intensity. And then there would also be a light industrial. And technically self-storage is a light industrial use. But because it's not a particularly offensive use, I think that's why I was like, I'll propose a setback that's consistent with commercial rather than industrial, because the industrial setback is like 50 feet.
Mhm.
Which,
But in our minds, industrial is for traffic,
mhm,
production, things like that.
right. And
Okay, so I see where your compromise is in regards to the rating of the structure.
right,
Because it is considered definition-wise light industrial.
light industrial.
Got it, okay.
Yeah, and like if this property were being zoned with that proposed ordinance, it would be zoned, the rezoning being sought would be for light industrial, not for commercial. And so that 20-foot buffer is already a compromise from what that proposed standard would have been.
Okay.
that being said, I'm not saying that there's no more room for compromise. I mean, ultimately, that's up to you guys because that ordinance isn't in effect yet.
Right. So,
But
so if we were to comply with the ordinance that's going to soon to be completed, light industrial would be a 50-foot setback.
I believe, yeah, I think that's
That doesn't make sense in this. So you cut it from 50 to 20, thinking this is something more of a commercial, a bit less invasive. Okay.
right.
All right.
So I mean, basically, at the end of the report, we have the staff recommendation. Staff recommends, sending a favorable recommendation to town council, because of the following findings. The proposed business zoning district meets the community vision goal of attracting economic activity to Thorntown and using existing properties for it. The proposed business zoning district meets the community vision goal of promoting self-sufficiency by providing for the development of a business offering services useful to and desired by town residents. With some modifications, the proposed business use is compatible with the surrounding uses, current conditions, and overall character of existing development in its immediate vicinity. Number 4, the proposed business zoning district is the preferred designation of the property due to its proximity to a municipal utility and the old cemetery. Without evidence to the contrary, it is assumed that the proposed zoning amendment will have no adverse effect on the value of properties throughout the jurisdiction. Nobody's here to say that, this is going to reduce my property value. So staff's assumption is that it won't. And the proposed business zoning district reflects responsible standards for development and growth in utilization of undeveloped property for infill. Given those findings, staff recommends that approval comes with the following conditions. Modifications to the staff's recommendation is modification of the aisle widths to meet that 25 and 30 foot wide standard. Storage units should be placed on concrete pads or some other permanent footing, and there should be a screened buffer yard, 20 feet wide, meeting standards provided by the planning administrator along the property boundaries that are shared with residential uses.
So it would just be that one.
So that
one side.
Technically, it would be this one side and also along this side, but there's no planned
no structures
No.
in there.
planned structures there at this time. So
So if somebody, he parks a camper, trailer, or something like that in there that's not permanent, he can go closer, can he?
I
The thing is off that back property line, there's a hill. So you're gonna be kind of down.
kind of down.
And
Okay.
You're gonna be away anyway, time you get down that hill to where it's flat that you can park things. I don't know if it's 20 feet, but I know it's a
okay.
little,
That property line goes almost to the shed.
yeah, that property line, ours goes all the way up that hill, so we're not gonna really do much with that anyway. We're not gonna take that hill out.
Yeah. Yeah. So with a change with that, depending on what the change of elevation is, a buffer there might not be necessary because the change in elevation is going to sort of provide that kind of visual
Yeah, 'cause
screening.
They said there were cars back there, and I never saw them.
Yeah.
And a couple
It was a
boats.
mess. Yeah, a couple boats.
Okay. So
Um,
I guess the two things that are a big impact is the units being permanently affixed on a concrete pad or piers, and then the screened buffer yard. As far as like the drive aisle widths, myself personally, I don't care about that.
Yeah,
But the buffer, that's a big thing. That takes a whole row out. And then lighting and then permanently affixing it to the ground.
Now, the thing is, he takes that row, go back to the layout. He takes that row out, now the lights are gonna be shining towards the property owner.
Well,
Yeah.
I think you could still have like, you could still enclose it with this outside row. You just would lose you could still like this outside row, or imagine this now is the outside row,
Yeah,
is basically
those-
what would most likely happen.
Those middles are two back to
Right, they're back to
they're
back,
gonna
so the
have-
doors would be facing the neighbor's house.
facing the
Right.
neighbors, Yeah.
But what I was suggesting is that, I mean, unless this is a one-way drive aisle, with that buffer, unless this is a one-way drive aisle, you wouldn't really have enough space. You wouldn't have enough space to provide a two-way drive aisle with the
Right,
buffer.
there would-
Right.
yeah, you couldn't
And-
get two in there.
And so unless this was a one-way drive aisle, you would eliminate also this back row
Mhm.
of units. So this would now be the outside row.
Mhm.
And that would mean that the backs of these units are facing that house.
So they're gonna see the backs of the unit no matter what, it's just how far from their
Right,
property.
right. And
What
the
we can do to make it look better.
right, the extra distance is the intention of that extra distance is to make it farther away, so it's not right outside of his property.
Yeah.
But B, to provide space for various methods of screening, like multiple rows of vegetation, for example, or vegetation and a berm.
So
Or
what you're suggesting, just to be clear, is it's just not open 20 foot. There's going to have to be
Yes, it's
vegetation, a
screened.
berm, it's screened.
Yes,
You're going to have vegetation or berm, a big soil berm that, okay.
yeah.
Hides it.
And are you set on that 20 foot or is there any kind of compromise?
I mean,
there?
that's up to them.
Yeah, so where he's coming from is 50 foot is
Right.
so this light storage is considered light industrial, typical is 50 foot.
Mhm.
He was looking at it, well, that doesn't make sense, so he cut it down to 20 feet. So now we're down to, well, we go less than 20. It's a residential neighborhood. And I know at Stalcott, we had that same issue where they were wanting to expand in the back, right? And there's that big
Yeah.
soil berm back there, remember that?
Yeah.
And that was like a big point of discussion for the neighbors and, Stalcott to do some landscaping up there to kind of hide some stuff.
Mhm.
And the neighbors attended.
Yeah.
Yeah. They definitely.
And they all work together.
Yeah.
Actually, that was nice.
Well, like I said, I mean, I don't think Nick has a problem with it, because I was actually gonna set back, about
Yeah.
10 foot, I think.
Yeah, we talked about ourselves before even making
On that.
more.
Because we could get it in there and then still have the 10 on his side.
Okay, this is a carpenter in me. Those ceiling tiles are 4 feet, and the ones on the end are 2 feet. From the wall to this line is 10 feet. And the room is 20.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only really my concern is losing storage units, then it's just gonna be 10 foot behind the storage unit or 20 feet behind the storage unit, that's what you're gonna do with it, just landscape it.
That's 4.
I mean, most of these storage units have 0 landscaping on them.
So if,
The rest of them have none.
well, where that would heck is that? Who's it?
But I just didn't know if that was an option. If I talked to Nick and he says, hey, I'm fine with it,
Yeah, I see what you're
with
saying.
you guys, I don't think, 10 foot, I think he would be happy with 10 foot.
I think if you went 10, you'd just about have to put a berm in there.
Like a dirt berm.
Yeah. just-
Yeah.
And that way, when you plant stuff, it'd actually be up higher and cover more.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, when you scrape it out to level it off, there's gonna be
Yeah.
a lot of your
You got
dirt.
dirt
Oh, yeah,
somewhere.
I know. Yeah,
Yeah, it's
but,
gonna be back behind there. Anyway, so
yeah, but then that makes it hard to maintain.
hard to mow and stuff.
And land, whatever, you know what I mean? Then you got water running towards you.
That was my other,
That's true, that's
Which I plan to put some tile down
yeah.
over the hill. We're gonna run some tile through there. So we have drainage. But I would rather landscape it and use taller pine trees, whatever you call them, or whatever,
Cypress, cedars, cypress.
or whatever the
Cypress.
tall pine trees. are.
cypress
farms.
tree.
You'll see like 15, 20
Yeah.
of them.
I got them at my lake. I can't think of what they're called.
Mhm.
Like
Cypress.
that Gray put out here around his property.
Yeah. Which one?
The Gray that owns all the, doesn't
No,
like people to
not
be on.
them. No, the tall skinny ones.
Yeah. There's some.
Cypress.
Or, I'll think about that thing later. Yeah, that's one thing about it.
They
Tall
are,
ones that a lot of people make fences basically.
yeah, they're a cedar because when you cut them, you can smell the cedar.
Oh, yeah, they may be, yeah.
Yeah, they are a cedar.
Then, you know, if you get them fairly big, it won't take long for them to
Mhm.
they'll be 20 foot tall.
What's the root system like?
And they don't have
They
big
don't.
roots on them.
We had some there, not, the ball's not very big.
So
They go
that's
down, but not out.
12,
Yeah, I took some out
and then this
before,
is
and
going to
they,
be 20.
not a big ball,
Yeah.
so.
So they have to take out that, so they
come right
have
out,
enough
You know,
roadway
Yeah.
going through,
going everywhere, you know.
and that's still,
I like a silver
I
maple.
don't
huh?
Yeah, not like a
Is
silver
anyone gonna
maple
fit
or a
in there?
weeping willow, or, you know,
Poplar.
yeah.
what's that?
And that, so the berm or the 20-foot setback and the other pieces, big item is concrete pads. If they have to be affixed to the ground permanently, if, you know, an approved anchoring system, is that going to be okay with everyone or,
Mhm.
or do we need to look at, you know, the concrete, but it's got to be permanently affixed to the ground.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Um,
either.
Concrete, I mean, it just adds a lot of cost.
Too, or tie downs.
Yeah,
Does the manufacturer of these, do they sell any type of anchoring system?
There's all kinds of stuff that people are out there now selling brackets, hangers, everything for these. They really recommend them to be on compacted gravel because, you know, that still lets the drainage from underneath.
Mhm.
That's what most of the people out there are saying, compacted gravel. And there is anchoring systems out there where
Well,
you
that's-
can, it's basically a same as a mobile home or modulars. They
But-
just run the anchor down and they got these straps that,
Yeah. I like the
Both
fact
of them.
that you're using the gravel dries to allow just,
yeah, I wanted to
Absorption.
drain.
absorption.
Well, yeah,
down.
if it goes all concrete, we'd have to, yeah, there's no absorption and that would have to be. So did we run a calculation on square footage that's as far as, you know, percentage of the property being utilized, or since we're going to look at it.
Coverage,
yeah, the
coverage ratio. I did not run a calculation on that simply because that's not a
Are
standard
you
in
attaching these to
in the
each
business
other
district
as they're in a row?
right
or
now,
just setting
so-
them up?
I was planning just above them.
Okay.
We can do whatever.
We could weld them if they really want them welded, you know.
The thing is, the more if they're attached, they're going to less likely sink. You think, well, they're heavier. No, it's like
When you're spreading the weight
you're
out.
spreading the weight out over a longer way, and it'd be hard for part of it to sink when it's attached. It's like a bridge, you know, it doesn't sink in the middle, but there's nothing supporting it out in the middle.
Matter of fact, I think you can bolt them.
Yeah, that's what I was
think I've seen
thinking.
A plate and big bolts that you can hook them together. So, yeah, it wouldn't be,
No piers, you can drill piers and set them on it.
then you could spread your piers out.
And that would be, you know, a way to, if you're concerned about settling down, I could do
Yeah.
that.
Well, if it's compacted, I'm not concerned about settling. I mean, my garage is sitting on compacted gravel.
Even with those bolts, if there's anything like big AHU units,
is that we would have angles that are on the corners, top and bottom. So you have a bolt that's parallel with the face of the connex, or there's holes already in place, okay, and it's already tapped, if you will, and you just put the bolt straight in. And it's meant to be really simple.
Yeah, they've got all kinds of
Oh,
different
yeah.
brackets and stuff, I think. You can put wheels on them, you know, they've got even attachments you can set there and use a jack to level them back up and, you can see and structurally, the length of it from corner to corner is structurally to hold lots of weight. Because see, they put them on a trailer and a thing and haul them down the road.
Yeah, and
Load.
just the ends are supported.
Yeah, the only thing is your cone is your support. And, you know, so that you wouldn't need a whole lot of foundation structure because it's not gonna be doing anything other than on your corner.
No, it's just like a mobile home, it's not support, it's supported on its wheels, and unless you build a foundation for it to sit on, then it's anchored down. It's just the metal frame keeps it level.
Right. So, you know,
Well, me personally, I don't care, I won't say this the right way. It doesn't matter what the consensus is, but I think 10 to 12 feet would be enough. If he's gonna plant the trees to buffer it.
I mean, I won't say most of the time, there's not gonna be much noise. Once somebody puts stuff in the storage unit, believe it or not, they very seldom ever go there.
And then you have to have an auction to get rid of all the stuff.
Right. Exactly.
Storage.
That may be a,
Almost like cemetery.
Yeah, it's like a cemetery for their junk.
Yeah.
exactly. Maybe I proposed it wrong.
We're only talking one neighborhood.
Mhm.
It's really only one neighborhood, right?
Nick,
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
one neighbor.
and
And
that's
his
what I'm saying.
garage will cover half the,
Yeah, his garage is
Yeah.
right there. I know.
yeah.
Was it, he didn't put that garage in too long ago, did he?
Just, Doug Merrill built it, what? Maybe 2 years ago,
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, it
'Cause
has.
I remember
been
seeing it go up.
Yeah, so, yeah, his garage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think 10 foot's fair.
Gonna use up that whole.
And then
road
make that lane there one way if you could, or.
Yeah.
Like I said,
How wide does it have to be if it's one way?
whatever's left.
Whatever's left. Right?
Well, that's what it'd be, but
All
Yeah.
right.
Well, you're gonna lose, if you go 10 feet,
As a whole, it was 4 plus 24, is that right?
all right,
28 feet, now subtract.
Well, it's
8 plus the 4, so that's 12.
4 plus 8 and then 24.
And then 24 for the aisle.
Generally, when you go from a two-way minimum width to a one-way minimum width, the one-way is just half the two-way.
okay.
well, it's 24 now, and you've got 4 on the other side, so you only need to pick up 6, so it's 24 minus 6 is 18.
So it'll still be okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be a plan.
Mhm.
I mean, I guess from my perspective, it doesn't matter on the aisles or widths. It'll be their customers that will determine.
Mhm.
I mean, and
Oh,
obviously
yeah.
they want customers, so they, they're,
You know,
That one way's not gonna be.
yeah, it's like they're gonna go the way they're gonna go. Frank's not gonna sit there and watch
We'll sign up for
it.
you.
That's private property.
Traffic law, private property. So it's all-
There you go.
And
So yeah, for me, it's like, I'm just looking at the boundary, is it 20 feet, 10 feet?
And that's
Well, the way I see it,
that's
he's
gonna
got
give
one
enough
neighbor, his
ratio for
neighbor
turning
agrees to
radius.
it. He's not balking at it.
yeah, he's
Actually,
not even here.
And
Yeah.
could we even
Just my
split the difference?
It's a good
between-
opinion.
Kind of split the difference between all 4 of those roadways a little bit, or no?
No,
No.
Okay.
because when people are
Still. leave
loading
those-
and unloading, or if you haven't, I admit, I watched Storage Wars for a while. People will be setting stuff out.
Okay,
And, chances
just
are no
make
one
that
else is gonna show up
one-
at the same time, but
make that one way.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess it's whichever way they pull in, that's the way they're supposed to go.
Yeah.
Somebody comes in the other way, they have to go around.
I mean, you
Okay.
could make both of the outside ones one way and then, shift the rows.
Yeah.
A little
Um,
bit, yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm. We're good to go.
but you just know, like he said, they're not gonna go whatever, they're gonna go whatever way they want.
If you put a sign up, most people will,
Most of them.
will buy, because if you, as they enter, and like I say, I'm not telling you how to do your business, but if you have a say, okay, you come in, you have to
What's
turn
the
right, and
entry?
everybody goes
Where the
right, they go
entry
down that
is?
aisle, and they turn left, they go up all the other aisles.
Further from off the road.
Yeah.
It's
Now, they went-
26.
They're
like I
one
said,
way,
come
yeah, I
back
mean, it's
and
one
you
way
can
for
get
everything.
I was
Same with
looking to
this
see
One
if
way for
there's
everything,
enough
but you can
ratio
still
there
get two
to
down,
go
because you got doors on both
and turn down
sides.
that aisle after it gets shortened up
Everyone.
for a truck to pull in.
I mean, it always
Yeah, I
comes,
wanna make it so it's easy for them to
Truck,
get in now.
truck
Right.
trailer.
There's somebody else there, they can still get around.
Without hitting the corner line.
yeah.
It's-
again,
There's some
convenience
storage
side.
facilities
I'm
there,
not
not
worried
very
about the
wide.
dimensions
Now,
of the site for the
in
most
the-
part,
you have
because it's
to-
their site.
No, I'm just looking
You know,
at
like
the
I said,
fact that
somebody
if you
takes a
took it
box
and you
truck in
put a
there,
truck in with a
a
trailer
U-Haul, they
Is
have
there
to be
gonna
able
be
to make
enough
those
room?
corners.
Yeah,
If they
and
know
we,
how to
and
drive
we
to
tested
go
that.
from the entry and go around that corner. If we
Yeah.
shorten
He,
it
he was
down.
making fun of me because I'm
I mean,
visual,
to
and
me,
I'm
it's-
like,
it's
okay, I
their-
wanna see
it's
how
their
wide,
problem.
and then he tried
I-
to
I
take
know
his
some-
big truck and trailer in there, and he's
that-
like.
that-
I mean,
that's
genuinely,
how it is.
it's like the customer says, I keep renewing that.
If you're worried about them getting.
So I'm thinking about the separation from the neighborhood.
I'm not really
and
too
then
worried about them in
light
that storage
pollution,
container.
and then
So they're not
permanent-
They're gonna have a lot of damage if they do.
If they're
But it's
concrete,
like it's in the
yeah, there
neighborhood,
could be
so
some
it's like,
damage, those
I'm
steel
I'm
things,
fine on
that's.
that 20-foot number,
I
but
don't think they're gonna
36
fit in
square-
that storage container.
If they're.
That's the
Where
reason
the
I kinda
lift
want to
station
use
is.
it over traditional building, because if
How
the
far
limb falls
away
on it, it don't hurt it.
5
5
feet.
feet.
You know, them things are built like it's
So
anything.
it's basically
It's not gonna
gotta
put a
be
hole
5
in
feet
there.
all the way.
You're right.
Right.
And
They only have it on one
that's
side.
the reason I kinda want to go this
And
way.
you're thinking on the other side, well, that would be the property
But-
line, so they're about.
I mean, just as long as we anchor them down in some way, you got, or you're
Okay.
fine with that.
And then the
Correct, there's some kind of an anchor,
Right.
but, you know,
Yeah, an approved, permanently affixed, an anchor that is used for that, or have an engineer sign off on it, that this is the appropriate size anchor with the appropriate, holding power for this type of facility, something to that effect. That would be for me, that's what I would be concerned of, is permanently affixing that to the ground. As far, yeah.
And just underscore what Frank said, is that people are just gonna have to have a spotter, a helper. Like if you're backing up a box truck or something, y'all shouldn't be doing that by yourself.
Yeah,
well, most of them have cameras on today.
No, the storage.
and look, they should just be able to pull in and
Storage pod.
Well, that's
go
what,
around, but, you know, they won't, but.
The pre-built
Yeah, they should
storage.
really not have to back up.
Yeah.
They'll be able to go around
Storage
what are those things actually called?
connexes.
Connex.
Shipping containers or connexes.
Ah, there we go, that's what I'm looking for, shipping containers.
Or another one, I've always heard C-Tran,
Depending on what site you look at.
Yeah.
and C-Tran, that's another one I've heard, C-Transport.
And in some countries, they're used as space to put prisoners in.
Oh,
Hey, never know, we may need something. Lock them in there.
Eritrea.
Frank, you might get a knock on the door from Frank, hey, we got a few extra prisoners.
Just lock them in there.
Okay, so
And it's as
yeah,
bad as it
we
sounds.
could
Throw
back
some
on
food in
that.
there once in a
Then
while.
at the back of the lot.
Oh, wait a minute, you gotta clean it
You
out
can at the
though.
back of the lot now.
I will
Oh,
tell you,
people try to
So
live
if
in it,
this
you gotta
goes
watch
straight
that.
down, that one is
watch,
gonna
watch
be
the
shorter. than
TV
this one.
series, Big Sky, it's only on for a couple of seasons, but it's really, really
Or you're
good.
talking about.
And it starts out with these
It doesn't-
girls being
Wouldn't
captured
necessarily
and
have to
kept
be
in
just
there.
because it's
But
only at the
something
back of the
Sky
lot, like
does.
that's like back here.
It's
Mhm.
Big
And so
Sky.
there's that's still this section
Well, I'm
here.
looking at if, like, this
And
is
there's a lot
moved
of-
over
Well, Reba McEntire
And
shows
they
up
have to
later,
do-
her real life husband.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
the
I
Burma
think it's
trees
3
or
or 4
whatever along
seasons. I
here.
was disappointed when it got
That
canceled.
would be shorten that unit down.
Yeah, there's
down
all kinds
on
of
their end, wouldn't it?
anchors,
Only to the extent
Yeah.
that
huge inventory selection.
And it'd probably be better just to find one of them companies like that. It's
The
already
berm would only
engineered
need
it.
to go
You know,
to,
Now, is
or,
that
you
engineer
know, to where
supposed to be approved by
needs to
some
turn
state
here.
agency in India?
and so, I mean, depending
An
on
engineer would sign
what
off.
this width is,
They'd have to do state
there
submission.
could still be
They've got
enough space
slates.
for,
Does yours have
you
the
know,
slots
this-
on the
this
sides?
house.
So
Or
then,
do you know?
that's right,
I think
because
they all
then this
have
is gonna go
Okay,
this way,
because
isn't
these
it?
are anchors that slide down, and then you would actually have a pier or something.
because that's how they pick them up.
Well, so
Yeah.
this would-
They go
this would-
around and hook in
These aren't class one
in
structures,
four
but this
corners and
requires.
These just,
storage containers.
slide-
submission to the
slide
state
into
for
that.
state drawings.
And then if you got a hole dug,
That
with concrete, and you're
is,
Another can of worms.
threaded.
Just
that's
build
building
rebar or
inspector
whatever.
territory.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It slides into that
Construction
slot,
has
and there's a
nothing to do
hole
with
in it.
me.
It's just
I-
a-
No problem.
And then you
Heard. You need to look.
and you can actually put it in before you do everything. You can probably put them in, well, like I said, that's,
Okay, so. The
put them
net
in
is
and
a
then pour
piece that
concrete
goes
and
off to
just
the
tighten, and
side.
then tighten them down a little bit more.
Okay.
So,
Yeah,
yeah, there's all
everything
kinds of things
lines
out
up.
there,
6
Yeah.
feet there.
all kinds of things. We just don't want them.
Yeah,
Well,
we
no,
don't
that.
want to do them this.
So
Yeah.
I'm saying line up
Yeah.
this way too, if you get off a little bit, that rod later, you know,
Yeah,
that's what you said, pour it, then
so.
put it in there and pour the concrete.
So there's not gonna be, so drainage. I'm trying, will this have to go to the state? Will they have to submit drawings to the state, stamp drawings to the state?
It's down. I don't think it would.
Well, it does, I mean, it doesn't matter if you're in town or not. If you're building a structure, a commercial structure that has people, but it's outside, you have to do a state submission for the site. It has to be reviewed by the state, but I don't know if this qualifies.
Yeah.
And this is a township space?
State submission for drawing release.
What was township as opposed to county?
Well, the township's part of the county, but township is in charge of the cemetery. Your township,
Okay,
well, okay, the town's in charge of the cemetery out there. 'Cause it's in town. This cemetery down there, for some reason, is not in town, it's in the township. Even though it's around.
Right where it says it here, but
He just called it all the information for the cemetery. But that,
yeah,
yeah,
you can
'cause
see it's.
I'm like, why is Lynn doing that? And I asked, oh, that's township, it's not in town.
Yeah, it's like it's partially in town. I think if you do these corporate boundaries, so you can
Oh,
see
yeah.
you can see the line runs
through
right
the
there.
stream.
So it's like partially in town, but not entirely.
It's really odd.
That's like the sewer ponds belong to the town, but they're not in town.
Yeah.
And since the town doesn't touch the property they're in, we can't annex them in or something like that. The town bought the property and the town owns the property, but it's not within our township,
Mhm.
our town limits.
It's not a class one structure. So I don't think they have to go through state submission. This is not a
Well-
formal.
Does anyone else have a problem with the 10-foot setback?
I do not have a problem with the 10-foot setback.
I don't,
Good.
And then the screen buffered yard, we can change number 3 for recommendations to 10 feet rather than 20 feet with foliage. Is that be the way to say that? Is that proper? Marcellus?
it said
Windbreak.
screen, but
windbreak screening.
You could say
Well, the screen buffer yard is just. some
Vegetation.
Oh, yeah, it says screen, so it doesn't have to say
Landscape.
anything.
yeah, it doesn't have to say anything.
Of 20 feet.
is there a height on that screen?
There can be.
I'm not trying to complicate it. I'm just saying, is it already written down?
No, it's not. written
No,
down.
it's not written down.
I'd say 8 feet.
Okay.
Because that's how tall they are. And parallel drives at least, well, we're gonna say they can keep them at 24, it's a foot. And then the other one is
Is the
18.
So that 4 foot at the north end, that's gonna be 4 foot?
Oh,
And next to Nick,
It's
it's gonna be 10 foot.
That's the 10-foot setback.
So they're.
Over here on this side.
10 foot.
The one way.
Okay. Yeah, right there.
Yeah.
Just gotta go out the other. That way somebody's in, they can
Yes.
come out and get it.
Yes.
Or
Got it.
stay on, TV show, sanitary.
Still around, isn't he?
Okay, so a class 1 structure has to file for state submission.
Into the container.
And that is defined as anything that is occupied or otherwise used by the public, 3 or more tenants, or 1 or more persons, right? So we're going to public's on accident. Storage facilities, tanks, and dispensing equipment for flammable combustible liquid gases are also considered class 1 structure.
So we do have to file for the state.
Yeah. I just dealt with this issue. If you like install less than 100 lineal foot of non-load bearing wall in the space, you don't have to get submit it. But if it's a load bearing wall, or if it's longer than 100 feet, or if there's a firewall, then you have to submit the drawing to the state and have state review and approve it. And in this case, it lists a storage facilities.
Mhm.
I mean, they probably would need to contact an architect or engineer that's does a lot of state submission, but this is one of those things that if I'm conservative, so I would do a drawing and
Oh,
submit it.
the thing, the front one.
Mhm.
We have to cut it 10.
I'll just as a sort of reminder as to like what the purpose of these conditions would be, is that they become these standards, or at least part of the standards by which, when they apply for the actual permit to develop the site, because this is not the permitting process, this is just the rezoning process.
Right.
Mhm. Right.
But the purpose of setting these conditions is that these conditions would become part of the criteria along which their building permit application is reviewed against. So without any conditions, and I'm not saying that, that's what you're suggesting here, but without any conditions, the only standards that the building inspector would be reviewing against are the no standards that are currently in the business zoning district.
Mhm.
So I just want everyone to keep that in mind, that this is setting the standards that the building inspector is going to use to determine whether or not to approve the application. It is not a discussion about whether that application should or should not be approved. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Okay.
Heard.
So I guess we have 3 options to motion to forward a favorable recommendation with the conditions, commitments recommended by the staff to the council for adoption of the change of zoning from residential zoning district to business zoning district for the subject real estate located at 416 North Pearl Street, or we can give it an unfavorable one, or we can make a motion to continue the review of the application.
What are the conditions that we've got listed so far?
Okay. Setback of 10 feet,
Got it?
Mhm.
Anchored,
Got it?
the
lighting.
lighting and the cameras are already listed on your stuff, isn't it? Yeah,
But cut off, meaning
Yeah.
We can't have glare bombs.
right.
Right.
And then I think we need to have them, the structure need to be painted the same color or match,
Yeah.
and not be a hodgepodge of
Yeah.
whatever.
Mhm.
Camouflage.
I mean, that's fine as long as they're all the same.
No, they'll be able to say yes.
Just paint a
And-
forest all the way across,
Yeah,
and you wouldn't have to plant any trees.
We could have,
yeah.
we could have the artists do that.
Yeah.
That gal who does this artwork here in town,
What, I can't think what her
I
name
did
is.
some of it.
did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's gonna do our building downtown.
Yeah, she's gonna do this one.
Oh, they posted, or I don't know how my wife found out about it, but, and there were other people from town up here. You come up and she'd say, what color do you want to paint it? And she'd give you a brush and the paint and you go, she goes, okay, that's color goes here in this area. And a bunch of, we went there. I still have my paintbrush. It's kind of a little.
On the backside.
Yeah.
It's like paint by numbers when she does it now.
Yeah,
She gets up there, then she puts all these numbers, and I asked her what, and then she showed me. And it's like paint by numbers, and then like this will follow to this
Yeah.
number to that number, then this will be that color on the back of the building, and
Yep.
she said it, some kind of new computer program that she got.
and you could paint as much or as little as you wanted.
Right, yeah. With the grants, they have to do that.
Yeah.
They have to have a day of
And my
community.
grandson actually put a brush in his hand and took a picture of it.
They wouldn't let me paint it.
I think the third recommendation you were talking about, was the suggestion of the roads, but I think you decided that those were okay.
Yes.
Then you can list the two.
Just that back to the
So
building,
that-
or tie down, tie down.
Yeah, and if they're bolted together,
Mhm.
maybe you can even buy a plate that bolts them together and has a tie down hole in it at the same time. I don't know.
Welded.
Or
That's,
We can weld it.
design what you want, and take it to IGH Steel in Lebanon and have my writers make it for you.
Oh, yeah.
Mine
They have a
is-
plasma cutter, they can make you anything.
I've got a plasma cutter. Welders, actually CNC plasma cutters. I can make any part you want.
You have that now?
Yeah.
I knew you had something for sheet metal at one point, the laser cutter.
Nah, I had one that was a failure, so I bought another one. It's a plasma can, 4x4. Bagel.
I know that name.
Are we ready to make a motion on it,
Mhm.
or are we ready to just go on?
yeah, I am.
Well, we need to have them make a motion that's either favorable with what they proposed or actually, it's gonna be number 2, favorable recommendation with the conditions commitments recommended by the staff.
Well, since you modified the commitments, it wouldn't be the commitments recommended by staff. You would need to say what the commitments, the conditions that
We are coming up with, right?
you're
Because
coming
the
up with.
the staff recommendation is up there, but we're modifying those staff recommendations.
Okay.
So I make a motion for a favorable recommendation on this project with the following
The rezoning.
rezoning, excuse me, with the rezoning of this property, sorry. With the following caveats. The storage units need to be permanently affixed to the ground with an approved system. The screen buffer of 10 feet on the north section.
Mhm.
Structures painted same color or with a theme, uniformly, something. And then being conscientious and or dark sky, approved lighting fixtures, cut off fixtures for lighting so that it's not a glare bomb.
Camera lines.
Oh, you want?
Oh, that's already in there though.
Mhm.
That's already in our recommendations.
Yeah.
You said so.
Does that sound all right, folks? Did I get
Yes.
everything?
Yeah.
All right.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Any more discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstains? Motion passes. Unanimous.
So what'll happen now is I will revise this staff report to reflect what we talked about here. and the Plan Commission's recommendation. And then I think the next plan or the next town council meeting.
Is Monday.
So not the next one, but the nearest one in the next month
December, okay.
December.
No, yeah.
will be
Yeah,
December
right,
1st, I think. And so plan
Yeah.
to be on the agenda for that meeting. We'll show up at that meeting. Town council will then make the final decision on the rezoning.
And I will come in, unless you're coming to do it.
Yeah, I'll be here.
I will be there to back in.
All right.
So when
I try to get to most of them.
all right, now I've got to go back to.
That was Do you need the agenda?
Yeah, I got it here somewhere. Okay. Is there any old business?
Nope.
Nope. Any other business?
Oh, you have other business?
At the last town council, and I don't know what's gonna happen, but the last town council, there was a gentleman here from the Boone County APC wanting Thorntown to join the county. Advance has, and they were wanting us to. So I don't know what's gonna happen there, and then what that would mean for us.
It'd be no more council.
Well,
You have a representative from Thorntown, correct?
yeah, we would have someone from Thorntown on it, but we could, I don't know if we could still have ours.
I think that whole motivation is due to the budget cuts given to us by the state.
That didn't affect us. Yeah, because we don't get paid.
Marcellus does that.
No, that's-
So basically, they're looking for dollars. So the state has cut the budget for the general fund, and that pays for engineering services.
As I understand it, and if you have any questions about this process, Debbie Lazier, the Boone County planning director, planning commissioner right
He's
now.
also writing that.
Yeah.
ordinance.
She's willing to schedule a meeting and discuss any questions you might have, and same for the council. If they have any questions about what that process entails, she's happy to answer those. But from my understanding, that decision would eliminate the need for this body. Thorntown would still have its own set of ordinances, though. It would not.
Right, we'd have our own.
It would
ordinance. You can
not
say
be
that.
the county's ordinance. And I think that there is also the possibility for, in addition to having a Thornton representative on the area plan commission, there is, I think, also the possibility for town council to also be able to make recommendations or, voice their support or lack of support for some case being heard by the area plan commission. In
For
addition,
the county.
yes.
So what I hear you saying then is Thorntown would have a bigger voice in the county?
Well, it's not necessarily.
They just have one person.
It's like if there's a case that originates out of Thorntown, and because it's being decided by the county's area plan commission instead of the Thorntown area plan commission, town council, being the body that governs Thorntown, would be able to say, hey, these are our thoughts on this case that's happening in our town. And that's not necessarily to say that the area plan commission would be bound by any of that, but it's to say that Thorntown is not losing all of its autonomy in planning matters.
So is it, okay.
That's my
It's
understanding.
it's not even our decision to make.
But
No,
That's what it is.
like I said, if you're curious, and and want to learn more, Debbie has said she's more than willing to.
I'm assuming the town council is going to meet with her to understand their position better, and then once they make the call, then that trickles down.
Yeah.
So, but we have no voting power or in the game at all. But we still get our own ordinances she's working on.
Right.
Yes.
We get our own ordinances, and if, new ones that are being created, the town council would approve them, right?
Mhm.
Well, they still have to anyway.
But so if we ran the scenario of the similar situation, but there's no APC, it would go to the county.
Yeah.
Then you have the Thorntown rep to probably describe what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And then the county would be able, the board members on the county would actually vote on the situation. People that don't live in town.
Well, see, and that's how I think you would have the area plan commission would do what we're doing tonight and would, have a favorable, unfavorable recommendation or whatever. But I think it's still the town council because it's still the town's zoning ordinance.
Got it.
So, and then people from Thorntown that need to go in front of the APC would have to go into Lebanon, where they.
Most likely.
Where the courthouse is.
I thought they said something about we could still have an APC.
Well, I thought they said something like that too, but I'm not.
Yeah, we don't know. We just have.
We would not.
But we'd advise one
Yes.
member on the area.
Right, you'd advise one member that's serving with the county. That's right, that's what they said.
It is the reason for efficiency and save cost savings. That's, I mean,
So what you're
I
saying
was
is
there at the
no
budget
pay
review
raise.
meeting, that was popped up.
No pay raise.
We don't get paid at all. What are you talking about?
Which also, another part of business, we have 7 members. And
We have 6 members.
we have 6, but we can have 7.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we actually have 3 town employees on here. And we only need 2. So whoever the other one is, because it's going to be the building inspector. The building inspector, they're not going to hire one. They're going to contract it out to the county building inspector. So if we keep this intact, we would have to find another one.
Gotcha.
And
Yeah,
then John Regan lives just down the street here. He is on the town council now.
Yeah.
They voted him on the other day. He came in, got interviewed. I mean, I watched it. I felt like I was there, but yeah, I watched it.
Yeah, just to clarify, right now there are 6 members of the Plan Commission, 2 of whom I have listed as town employees. The remaining 4 citizen members. The ordinance requires 3, the ordinance requires that 4 members be citizen, 3 be town employees.
So I'm on the utility board
He's paid.
and I'm paid.
I see.
He works for the utilities.
I mean, that's always been it has never been hidden or anything. But if I need to boot myself off.
No, I don't think so. I mean,
We've gone through
not
this discussion
now.
before, I think, but I can't remember what the summary.
It's 3 town, 4
citizen.
citizens, and we do have 3 now. Because I got to thinking about that because we always had the building inspector was our 3rd,
Mm-hmm.
but then he got on the utility board. So that gave us our 3 town
So we've got our 3
employees.
town employees.
Sorry, Miss Elsie.
We haven't-
So you need a civilian member.
We need a civilian.
You need a citizen member.
We good?
So if you know of anybody that might be interested, we can recommend to the town council if you're still going to exist.
And citizen members are appointed by the town council president.
Right.
That's all I got here.
Yep, same here.
I am the only original member. I've been here from the beginning. I'm not gonna be a career politician.
This isn't a political job. You were appointed, you weren't elected.
Yeah.
Nancy's not running, I don't think I'll run.
Yeah.
All right.
I got enough on my
Any
plate.
other business?
No, sir.
No, we're good.
Meeting adjourned at 7:30.
Thank you.
The day of our Lord.
Frank, do me a favor and keep watching 118.